Victoria's famed Golden City, Ballarat, a part of the national network of ABC television.
Okay. Right. Okay, are we getting sound? It's a bit of... We are indeed. Okay. Excellent. And it said the stream started... Shut up, Andrew. It said it started 15 minutes ago, but I've only just connected it, so I don't know what all that is about. Okay, let's plug this in so we don't go flat all the time. I'm starting this a little bit earlier than scheduled. We'll see how we go with it. And I haven't actually planned anything. Yeah, there we go. So I've been working on these. In fact, I'll have to go and close the windows in a minute. It's blowing a gale out there, and it's getting a little bit chilly. Oh, it's not too bad, but I'm getting a little bit chilly. Yeah, so I've worked on 3 or 4 radios this afternoon. Recapped them. The Sony A200 stereo AM radio is sounding superb. I've just got to work out where the aerial wires go. I did record them on a live stream, but I didn't take... I'm sure I took photographs. I'm positive I took photographs, but do you think I can find them? So I searched everywhere on the internet for a schematic for it, and I've only found the American version, which is virtually the same, and that's only got a block diagram. So yeah, so it's going to be a bit of fiddling around to find out where the AM antenna connects to. Other than that, I've just got to clean it up and finish it. This one, yeah, it's a bit odd. It's working well, it's receiving beautifully, but it's really, really distorted, and I just don't know why. As it's been recapped and everything like that, it should sound all right. I've connected another speaker up and it's still the same. So yeah, so I'll let you listen to it. So the 2 people came and collected their turntable and amplifier, and they left about probably 10 to 5 or something like that. So I decided to that was left on. So I decided to have some dinner and then do this, start this. So I'm sure people will catch up at the end or what have you. So we'll turn that on, and so that's just the power supply. You can hear that. So that whistle is the power supply. So we'll go to the racing station. Yeah. I'm hoping you can hear that.
To try and give us a guide of how many more there are to load. So Snoopy now, 380, a 650 Comanche. Both of them were scratched yesterday.
It's distorted, it's muffled.
They come forward, or Comanche was at least anyway.
Actually, the tone control isn't working. Yes, it is.
So waiting for...
So it's muffled and not quite so muffled.
Huron Tycoon and Comanche might be the last trio to load here.
And I don't know what the distortion is, so...
Snoopy now is left to carry 59.5 with these.
Yeah. So that is probably a couple of transistors or something in the output section, or the transistors in the output section. So I'll put this aside. So we've got this, put the screw up there. We've got the... Oh dear, about to cough my lungs out. And sneeze at the same time. Yeah, so my throat is really, really dry the last couple of weeks. It's obviously the weather. But today is actually quite pleasantly cool. Although it's not going to last that long. Okay. So that's that one. Put this aside. Try not to knock everything over. So put that there. Yeah. So it's not a Duracell anymore, it's a Simply Duracell. So obviously they're going down market. And I'll actually bring you in a bit. Is it the right camera? Yeah. So yeah, we'll have to now. Okay. And this one. Where's that pointing? So yeah, I'm just mucking around with the angles and everything like that on these cameras. So I'll bring this one down. If I can. This really sticks this joint here. So that is better. And we'll come back a bit on this one and we'll switch over and I'll adjust this one down a bit. Ow, that hurt. That joint is really stiff. It's not going to go anywhere, but boy, it is really tough to move that. Okay, so is this looking? Actually, that's pretty good. Let's have a look. Yeah. Work with that. Bring this around a little bit. Do the camera. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yes, I'll just go and close the windows before everything blows away. Okay, do this one first. It's a really strong southerly wind that's picked up. Okay, I'll be back in a moment. Okay, that's better. Right, so now we've got this T350, which is working quite well. So again, it's the National Panasonic, and this one, I'll bring, how many batteries? So it's 4.5 volts. So I'll have to bring this up a bit. Yeah, and that other distorted one is drawing drawing 110 millivolts, so there's obviously something not quite right with it. Right, so we'll bang these on. One problem I have found with moving to the right a little bit is these leads only just reach. So let's turn it on.
Now being backed out of line. So look to be a little bit fractious perhaps in the stalls.
So that sounds
Out
much
of aces, number 3.
bit better, but
Confirmation broadcast. Okay, thank you. So confirming number 3 out of aces was fractious in the gates. And
it's not exactly
going a bit re-examination.
hi-fi.
So out of aces at the moment, just undergoing the
And it drifts too a little bit.
sail for race 1. The cap off, or the hat off at the moment, I should say. So helmets off here for rider Jasper Franklin, and out of aces is now being trotted up behind the gates.
Okay.
Helmets back on. So we'll see what happens here. Out of aces currently an 850 chance in betting, which has him on the 4th line. Now, out of aces, he perhaps here is being led away from
And
the
again,
gates.
that is ear piercing.
So this might be coming out here.
Or this.
Pedals coming off, so this will be a out of aces number 3 will be a lane scratching, was fractious in the stalls and has failed the veterinary examination. So we will have some deductions to pass on with the lane scratching of out of aces. Round at 850 chance. Confirmation coming through. Broadcast.
Yeah.
Thank you. So it's out of aces, confirmed as a lane scratching.
So yeah, certainly goes loud, but it's quite ear piercing. So I don't know quite what's wrong with that, whether it's just sounds that way, whether it's the type of capacitors I put in there. But I still haven't done the tiny little ones down in line down here to the tone control. So I will change those eventually. I've taken the speakers out and they're quite good. No rips or anything like that in them, and they were quite clean. So who knows? I found this little radio. Clive Sinclair was Sinclair Research or something like that, and I bought this in, I think it was 82 or something like that. And yeah, listened to on the bus going to and from work, and it came with this little case, which you can't see because I got my hand in the way. Yeah, so not that capacitor. Take that out. Yeah, so it's got a line antenna which I never used, and a little whip antenna which plugs into the top of it. And yeah, so I just ran off with one of these batteries, these A76s, which I just dropped on the floor. Let's pick this up as soon as I can see it. Yeah, so it's an LR44. I think also an A76 or something like that. Yeah, and it's AM, but it just picked up tons and tons of interference. The earpiece is disintegrated, the foam on it, so which isn't surprising. Yeah, but at the time it was touted as the smallest radio in the world. Probably is still one of the smallest. I don't think you'll get it much smaller and use it practically. What else I've got to show you? Yes, these circuit boards arrived on Friday. Bring it back down again a bit. So where do we go? There we go. Yeah, these little circuit boards and their manual of electronics old and new. He designed them. He's getting quite good at designing things, and they're up on PCBWay.com, I think, or something like that. And they're a Chinese company, and to get them made and sent here costs $20 or $30 or something like that, and I've got 25 of them. So it was actually more expensive just to get 5 or 10 or something like that per unit. So they worked out about 80 cents each or something, which is pretty excellent. I was going to work on this radio, which is an Orion Super Micro 7, but I'm going to save that for a main video. It's really quite fascinating. Okay, what is this? The 470. It's a wisdom cap. Not a wisdom tooth, a wisdom cap. I don't know whether you can see that. So another weird brand. Okay. Now what we'll do today is we'll get rid of this radio temporarily. And will we do this one or won't we? Yeah, may as well. We'll start on this thing. I think it's an Astor, is it? It needs a really good clean up. I think it's an Astor. Is it? Yeah, Astor PortaMantle Plus. So it's in pretty bad condition. This is all cracked across here. Yeah, and I think this actually worked when I tried it. Ooh, we've got a bit of a spider's nest here. Yeah, I brought in a Sharp CD radio cassette, which was my sister's many years ago, and I visited the house and she walked out the front door and I thought she was coming to say hello, which was unusual in itself, but yeah, she had this in her hand and was walking towards the bin and was going to throw it out. It worked perfectly at the time. But I put it up on my website, probably 5-6 years ago now, and thinking it wouldn't, just to test the shop and all that sort of thing. And I forgot about it. And it was out in the garage, and I got an email from someone in Tasmania. That spider's nest is not coming off of my finger. Fortunately, it hasn't got any spiders in it. It's still on my finger. What is with it? Yeah, that is super sticky silk. Okay, it's off. And I really had to think what she was talking about. So I went out to the garage and dug it out from the very back corner, brought it in and whacked it on the desk here, and went off, made a cup of tea or something, came back and I was about to turn it on, and I noticed there was 1 million ants. So obviously the ants had decided that it was a good place to make their nest. So I immediately took it outside and tested it out there. And the radio sort of works well on AM. Both cassette players play beautifully, sounds good. FM is sort of very intermittent, and the CD player I couldn't get going. But that was always a little bit on the dodgy side, let's say that. Okay, so this radio, now it's coming up to 6 o'clock, so that's when I said I'd start, so we'll just wait a moment or two. And yeah, right. Come on, won't you? There we go. Okay, so if you've just joined us, I started half an hour early, or 20 minutes early, and I've just been discussing what I've been doing mostly today, but during the week. And we're going to see if we can get this out of the cabinet, and then I'll clean it up, try and straighten out the cabinet and fix it. This is an Astor Mantle Portable, or PortaMantle Plus. It's a plus, and it was in pretty sad state. I only paid $1 for it. I think it actually does work slightly. It's got a big crack across here. The dial is cracked there and there. So this is the off and on switch. I'll have to move this up a bit, I think. How can we do this? Excuse my... I'm just adjusting the cameras and trying different setups. So that is better. I think the actual, yeah, that's moved. Okay, fix that later. Yeah, so this is the on-off switch, and obviously probably the volume as well. And this is the tuning. And inside here, we've got the cabinet and guts of it. So obviously plug it in there. I do have the bottom of this, and that's warped as well. It's obviously been in a shed or something like that, or out in the sun. It's got quite a few big electrolytic cans in there. I can't actually see the radio circuitry. Oh, that's, oh, I see, it's right at the very top. How are you supposed to change the valves in this? You must have to take it apart to take it out the case. Yeah, I've got no screws on there. No screws on there either. And that is not going back easily. We've got 4 screws up here, so we'll take the controls off. Yeah, my spoons. I put them in the other drawer. Yeah. One of them at least. There's the other one. And let's see that spudger. No, doesn't matter. So we'll try taking these off. This has been sitting on the floor in here for ages, and I've been really cleaning this place up. That came off reasonably easily. Yeah. Okay. And we've got 3 screws here. Just got the screwdriver out, didn't I? And this has been played with quite a number of times. The screw heads are quite mashed up, and they're not particularly tight. Yeah, that one. So This should just lift off. Yep. Yeah. So that'll clean up all right. I don't know about the cracks, but yeah, it's not too bad. We can put this, and they're going through. So we'll take these out. These aren't very tight either. So this has definitely been worked on. And take this one out. And those away. And we'll lay it down. I really don't know whether this is worth the effort, but yeah, we'll just do it on this live stream and we'll see if we can get anything out of it. As I said, I think it does work. So what I sometimes do is fix radios with rotten cabinets and make them good, and then when a good cabinet comes up, I swap the good chassis which I've done into the good cabinet. This is more warped plastic rather than the screw being tight. And I'm doing this left-handed. Now, how does this come apart? That should come down. No. Okay. So we've got... No. This really stinks, of course. It's got to come apart somehow. This is a real mystery. It was sharp there, which I caught my finger on, and that's not even budging. Yeah, do I need to... And I can see a really bad cut in there. Yeah. Would have thought this would come apart quite easily, but don't know whether there's anything. So we've got, I mean, that aerial is just floating in the breeze. Yeah, there's supposed to be screws or something in this end. Don't know where you can see that. There's a screw there, one there, and another one there. So someone's obviously tried to take this apart before. And okay. Oh, I would say this is, now I'll try and find the book with the schematic and everything like that in it, and see if there's any instructions on how to take it apart. Okay, so I'll move over here. Okay. So what have we got? That's a bit early. Actually to 55. 47 to 50. What have we got? Astor DL. And that's all that's in that one. Book 3. Book 4, maybe. Astor. Now, what model is it? Okay. So let's go on to Radio Museum. There's a mantle. PortaMantle Plus. Right. So, Astor Platinum, Astor Lift Chair, Astor PortaMantle Plus ARP, 53 to 56. Well, that's it, and that's what it should look like. Even that's a bit warped on the front. So 5 tubes. And yeah, when powered from AC, the high tension is rectified direct from mains power. Therefore, the chassis could have 240 volts if active and neutral power connections are reversed. Also, the output transformer in this model is insulated from the chassis, and its exposed metal body is connected to full DC high tension. Thanks for telling us. Really, yeah. And so we've got this one. So maroon and cream is what we've got. All walnut cream, maroon fawn, grey aluminium. Yeah. So now we're going to make sure instructions for something or other. Okay, so it's an ARP. So I'll go to Kevin Chant. So Australian valve radios, Astor ARP. No, doesn't have the schematic for it. Unusual. So let's go back and have a look at the bulletins. A1, G1. No. Okay. Now I should really join this, but every time I've tried to join, I've tried about 4 times, I never get the card which they're supposed to send you. So, just trying to read that. So, make sure receiver is switched off. No kidding. Lay the receiver speaker grill downwards. Yeah, take the base off. Yeah. Okay, we'll print that out. And how can I do this without you seeing it? So we'll go back to that. Not that there's anything private about this part of it. When I go to the email, that is private. The contents anyway, not the actual address. Okay. So, open my email. And yep. So where are we? And so, okay. Unscrew and withdraw 4 screws from around the outside edge of the receiver, which will allow the base to be prized off. Replace the batteries using battery replacement diagram as a guide. Refit the receiver. Well, that doesn't tell us how to take the external aerial. Instructions for changing the mains voltage. Well, that is a bit useless. It doesn't tell us how to get it out the case. How to change the batteries, but not how to get it out the case. Okay. Well, let's battle on with it. You're really that far behind? How can you be that far behind? Well, that's the preview anyway on the screen. Yeah. I really can't see how this gets taken apart. There's no screws left in it up the top here. That is that 2 pieces or... Yeah, but that's glued on. How bizarre. This really is a sealed radio. Must be able to get the side panels off. Or something, because it's joined up the top. What's holding it in though? Here's my... So we'll try this knife. Well, it's got a big lump of glue on it. I'll try and just... Is that actually... No, there's no gap there. I mean, this just looks like it's pressed together into this channel over here. It's got to come out, otherwise you would never change the valves in it. If you paid 33 guineas for it back in 1953, this is quite an expensive radio. This is totally... That's riveted together. Yeah, there's been things taken out left, right and centre here. So that speaker... Is that going to... No. It'll screw into the side panels. Another screw. Yeah, so the cream part here, this centre part, has all the gubbins on it, and then the side panels, but yeah, that's it. That really isn't coming off any, and it doesn't matter if I break it, but yeah. I mean, if they just pulled off, there's no screws on this side, and that those screws only hold the antenna to the side. If these come up somehow, actually, yeah. Can we get anything underneath there? No. This is really odd. Actually, that doesn't seem to be glued in or anything. Don't want to put too much pressure on the blade. There's a piece of broken steel in my eye. Where are we? Actually, we can use this. Yeah. Someone's already tried to do this. Let's see, marks. Maybe this has just welded itself together. And that is not connected down the front there, but as soon as it gets to about here, it's sort of welded together. There's no glue marks down there or anything. On the other side, no. That was promising. Maybe it is glued together. I'll have a look once we get up to here. And that's not going to move. Oh yeah. All right. Now that. Yeah, it's not glued together. I still think these, oh yeah, they do come off. This is just so filthy. What's that? Going to pop through that hole. No, that's cracked across there now. But it does seem to want to come up. These have got to come off. Just so I can get the screwdriver down into there. No. on this side. This side isn't quite so so damaged, but this is really puzzling. I want. Is that anything to do with there? That can't be anything to do with it. It's just a plate with screws across, screw at each end. And this thing is absolutely disgustingly filthy. Although there is a screw there. Something screws into there on the inside. Oh no, it's just a moulding mark, I think. Three screws right down the bottom. No. This is really bizarre. It's got to come apart. Otherwise, how would you change the valves in it? There's no point in unscrewing that. That's not riveted to the plastic. So there's a metal frame here, and there's a rivet there and a rivet there and a screw there, but it's not, that is not attached to the front. Or is it? No, it's not. You can see the screw head there. Yeah. This is really bizarre. That's not attached. And that just holds the cardboard panel in. This doesn't actually screw to anything. I'll find the base and have a look at that and see how it attaches to this, but I suspect there's just these 4 screws here which are attached to this part. Now, where did I put that bottom panel? Haha. What ain't here? And I didn't actually cross check into the book, did I? Now what was it? It was a ARP. It's a bit earlier than this. No. So it's not in book 4. I'll check See if I've got any other. So book 3 again. Pretty sure this didn't have it. No, it's just the DL. Two books of Phillips. This is the AWA book, and actually, no, it's 34 to 36. I'm not going to let this defeat me though. Yeah, this is really odd. So the aerial is rattling around the breeze. And the tuning works. How do you get it out? It looks like the top. Like there's things holding that in, but there, maybe. So that is, yeah. Do I just whack it on the top? It hasn't actually done anything. Oh, it's yeah, it's a bit looser. And these are a bit bent. They should go through the holes. We assume they actually do something. Yeah, that's quite loose now. But it's still sitting in there. Something a little bit heavier. I won't hit that again. Is it going down? Yeah, that's actually going down. And it's bending too. Is this how you get it out? The other side. No. It has moved a little bit on that side, but not on this side. Does this weld itself to the cabinet or something? In the heat. I can't even get to the valves down there. Just sort of see half of them, or half of two of them. Oh, there's one there as well. Yeah, this is just totally bizarre. Never had it. Ah, yeah, that is more like it. So just this part down here holding it. This lip. No. Nothing to grab onto to lever it. I mean that. Is lever that. I'll put that screwdriver. I'll put that. Move those out for a second. Sort of on a lip there, at the bottom of this frame. That is just not budging. That is really soft, that metal. Just bent that back by hand. And it's quite tight again now. Move that all. What is stopping it? And they feel like they're not supposed to come off. And there's nothing, there's no screws or anything in there. Where did I use the handle at least? So there was a couple of brackets for the handle and I can't find those. So they're probably with the bottom of the cabinet. Oh no, these are those. So I can tap this and see what happens. Aha! Has that moved it? No. No, they just go straight in, but it's not going to tighten up because it's down a little bit. It's down far enough that the screws won't tighten up. I don't understand this. And that is loose. That is sort of It's hitting something there. Peel this back and get this down. So row runs over this lip. On this side. And it is moving. On that side at least. It's moved about 2 millimeters. Put the screwdriver over there. No. Where did I put that screwdriver? Definitely not it. Okay, get another one. Okay, so it is coming. It's just a matter of let's come down a bit. And that is it. Well, it's come down about 2 millimeters. In fact, a bit more than that. It should be up a bit higher. That should be flush. So that is that. Yeah, those brackets are down a bit. So I think it is supposed to come down. Yeah, it's sort of coming out now. Here it's coming. I think once those handle brackets are through, oh, geez, that's just gone up into it again. It's not moving now. No. But if we stand it up, it'll go back up easily into the case. Ah. That was promising. Not at that end, though. It's catching on something. There we go. Aha. Slowly moving. Here it comes. No. What's it catching on now? And this rectifier thing is not in a good position. Yeah, that is hitting the side. coming out. It's coming, but there's a big metal piece down in here. Yeah, this piece is jamming against the side and the corner in there. We can see that just about. Yeah, that is actually hitting the side. So it must come sideways or something. And we'll close the tuning gate. We can do that. We'll try and shift it over. Don't think it's going to go though. And this is the broken piece sticking out quite a bit, so okay. Aha. Alright. So I moved it sideways a bit. And still something stuck. Somewhere. Still not coming. So that will move that way quite easily. This should this stinks. It's moving again. Yeah, it's up the top there. So it's the aerial. No, it's not the aerial. That's sort of quite loose. It's got some sort of, oh no, that's around there. There's no dial cord in it. What is holding it? Aha. So we've got a bit further. We've got this. Yeah, if we can move it sideways. Again. There we are, stuck. We'll get over this part down here. Is that hitting that? It's still tight. This has got to, these side panels have got to come off. wanted to push it back in, but it's just not really going in square. We've got good couple of centimetres in there. And that panel has got to come off. Want to though. There, sort of just sitting there, but they don't seem to be riveted in or anything. Glued. Maybe the screw holes are glued or something. This is the hardest radio I've ever had to take apart. Of this sort of radio anyway. I know other pieces of equipment are quite, and that is moving quite easily now. But yeah, how do we get it past there? We can't even. Can we turn it sideways? Maybe. This whole thing is going to just. It's really jammed against there. My hands are black. Okay. Turn it the other way. It's going straight back in the case, isn't it? That is actually jamming against the aerial. It's gone back. Yeah, it's a bit of an angle. There's the dial and the aerial on this side now. Stopping it. No. How can I do this? And that cardboard is not attached to anything, is it? Yes, it is. And that is, yeah, that's not going to come sideways. So that's the, or that way at least. So that is the tuning gang turning. Huh. This almost is that almost it's only because this is severely warped. lift this up a bit, and no, it's an angle piece. Bugger. That is not going to come out like that. I don't really care about this, so I'm just going to force it out sideways. This was only $1, this radio, so that didn't sound good, did it? Although I think this is given way up here. It doesn't look like it's glued, it's just dirt. Hooray, got it. Long bloody last. Geez, that was hard. That only took, what, an hour? And right. Now this is severely warped, this case. I don't know where you can see that. I'll just bring it over to the other camera. Yeah, so you can see how warped this is. Well, that doesn't look too bad on the camera. And that's the good side, this end. But yeah, it's all bowed in there, and oh, if you see that way, I don't know whether I can do this. Yeah, sort of not looking good. And this is all bowed out here, and yeah, this piece here is all broken and warped. Yeah, got this. I mean, it's only a cheap on sale top, this white one, but yeah, seen better days, that case. I'm going to get the heat gun onto it and see if I can bend, put it back to some sort of shape. I don't really know. And this bracket here doesn't do anything. It's just really a shield for these things. You won't be able to, might be able to. I'm going to take this piece, no, maybe not. These wires are dreadful. Get rid of this. Don't know why we've got this on here. Not doing anything for this radio, that's for sure. And yeah, it doesn't even. Oh no, it's on the. Oh no, it's not. So even the chassis is warped. Okay. So we can get these parts off. So that just goes into there, yeah. You have to take this off to change the valves. What a ridiculous setup. Never seen anything so stupid in all my life. this is the aerial, and it's got the external connectors on it. So they have been soldered a couple of times, this one at least. That one doesn't look too bad. This one definitely been mucked around with. Yeah, so we've got capacitors down in there. Take this off and then get to the capacitors. Is there a screw there? No, it's just warped. Okay, we'll take this screw out. I mean, there's a couple of screws missing here, but geez, that has not been done up at all. So yeah, I'll have to use the screwdriver though. That nut is really rusted or something. There's no washers or anything, so it's definitely been taken off. And there's another screw up there. This is not, yeah, so, oops, yeah, that is pretty bad. I don't know what that is that, no, it's some sort of material. So that is, where's the, yeah, so, sure that's not supposed to be like that. So might be able to make another one of these, but don't know whether it's worth it. It's just cardboard, and it's got that insulating piece riveted onto it. And where did that nut go? I can't find. Oh, there it is. So we'll put these back on. Where's the other one? Yeah. These back on, and that way we won't lose them. The other one has the speaker in it. Right, so this is all to do, this is all the power switching gubbins here. Yeah. So as we saw before, it's a live chassis. So we'll turn this around and have a look on the other side. don't need to take this off at the moment. It's got the valves there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the IF cans there. Tuning gang down here. As you can see. And yeah, and all of these capacitors. So 2, 4, 6, 7. Oh, hang on. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. And then we've got a mustard cap down here. So that is obviously new. In the 60s. Yeah, such a simple radio. And I don't know about this lump of aluminium here, but it must be original because it's got the Arts and P sticker on it. And I'd take that off. It might. It's got nothing to do with the reception. It's just really purely, and there's another cap down there, so it's 10 caps we have to replace. Yeah, there's quite a few nasty looking 10 watt resistors here. Yeah, those are 10 watts. They're 10 watts. Dropping resistors, that's probably a 10 watt, and that has been replaced. There's a couple of other resistors down here which are actually hanging in the breeze. Yeah, that has just been blob solder on there. I wonder if that's bypassing something when it was modified with this one. So might just, and that was put there for a reason, but just doing that soldering iron. Where did this one come from? Oh, it's one of the top ones. Put these back in. Yeah, that wind is getting very strong. Probably, I don't know whether you can hear that or not. Don't know where the other screws went. Here's one of them anyway. Right. Now, we'll solder that back onto that wire. So that wire looks original. Yeah. So is this going to melt? No. We use the thicker solder. I cleaned all this up the other day, but I've got all these capacitors and everything like that there, so from doing that other radios. I've got the Sony 550. That is just not taking to that. Put some flux on there, I think. Yeah, This thing is dead as a doornail now. The syringe. And I might put the iron up a bit higher. For it to heat up. Again, this is going to cause a lot of smoke because put a great big lump of flux on there. Let's heat it up. Okay. It's just not taking to that wire. That wire is getting very, very thin. Okay. So there's a great big blob of solder on it anyway. Right, that should hold temporarily. Okay. Now, what did I do with the 240 volt lines? They're on the floor over there. I've got rid of all the lighting stands and put up auto poles, which give me 1,000 times more room. So they take up about that much floor space. So I'll get one of these. Preferably. Actually, this have a plug on the end of it. It does, but it's tangled up. Okay. How can we do this without killing ourselves? So if the stream suddenly ends, you'll know that I've blown the circuit breaker. Can I see which? There's no. This is super dangerous. Hopefully it's in AC, and these battery terminals are not touching anything important. I don't need the clippy things, so I'll get another lead. And so this is going through the isolation transformer, but it's not going through the dim bulb because these battery sets don't like it. There are only 1 volt, 1.4 volt valves, so you don't need much to. You need the full current to turn the valves on, turn on the heaters. So, okay, so red is our live, and we'll cover that up as much best as possible. And white will be our negative, but no earth on this radio. So we'll just take pot luck with this, and hopefully it won't be a live chassis. It will not touch it while it's turned on. Turn on. We'll turn it on. There we go. And we'll just make sure that is free. That turns really nicely actually. It is well lubricated. Now, so that is in that position. I don't know. Yeah, all these socket things are different on all the different brands. So just check these wires are not touching anything. So they're all exposed. And we'll turn it on and see if it works. So I'll bring the voltage down, turn on the isolation transformer. We'll stand well back. So I'm standing a couple of feet away from it. I'll turn it on, and it made a clicking noise. I can hear it working. And I can smell something. Yeah. That might be just dirt and dust, but it didn't. It might even be the soldering iron. So, have we got anything to insulate ourselves? In fact, can we use a pencil or something with a rubber on the end? Will that turn that? No. Oh, yeah. Turn it that way. And go back. That's actually tuning it. Try and proper eraser. Yeah. Get away with that. It's probably, actually might just have been these resistors heating up that stank. So they get very, very hot. So we'll turn it on again. We're on to 20 volts. Can we turn it up? But we can use the knob for that. And we do have noise, but we don't have reception by the sounds of it. Or do we? Yeah, I think we're getting reception, but it's just not very loud. Yeah, I'll put this on very carefully so I don't touch anything. Almost touched it then. And that's not having an effect on the... Well, it is. I'll turn it up a little bit more. You can definitely hear reception. I don't know whether you can hear it or not. So it's only picking things up in the middle of the band. Just touching the aerial here. Yeah. Just. And you can hear and smell the resistors. It must be getting really hot. Yeah, I can feel it, the heat. So I'll bring you back just a touch. So back any further? It's going the other way, isn't it? There we go. Yes, I can feel the heat here off of those resistors. It's putting off a really large amount of heat there. It's not very loud. So it definitely needs some work done on it. And that's full volume, and I can hear reception, and if I just touch the aerial, it's getting through, and that is really accurate, that smell. That is awful. So yeah, it's just the dust and dirt and everything else burning off. So I've got to be really careful there. Don't touch that. So the valves seem to be working. It's got something on that valve. It looks like it's on. It's just something red. That's just reflection. Something red. I don't know what's red up there, but there's nothing red. So I'm going to leave it for a while so we know it sort of works. Which is what this exercise was about. Now that dial cord is not in the right place. It's down. Yeah, that's safe now. And that should be over the top of that. But I won't do that. that is actually rubbing against that. Yeah. So the main caps will have to be replaced. So that's a. So we've got a 24 there. In here we've got a. Is that a 500? Oh no, yeah, 500 I think. That's got 4 things on it, and then we've got another 24. So yeah. So 2 24s in a multiple of 4 in one can. That's, yeah. I don't know what they're expecting this thing to do, but yeah, so it's unplugged from the Variac and that's switched off, so right. So we'll pull these off. Yeah, this end, the tuning gang looks really clean and nice, and the speaker looks to be excellent from this side. So I think this is going to clean up to be a very nice radio, but a very dangerous one. And if I can find a nice case for it, I'll put one of these in. Let's go and get it. Silicon chip had these mains eliminators, and they connect up to the battery over here, and I can't remember where the DC comes out. The 1 volt comes out here, I think, and that is 90 volts. So yeah, and this works really well. I've got a couple more boards, and you just put this in place of the battery, and I think I've got 3 more transformers and 2 more boards and all the components to make it up. I couldn't get, bring it down again. That's as close as you're going to get. I couldn't get any of these trimmers at the time, so I made this up during COVID, and yeah, during lockdowns, shouldn't say COVID, I'll get banned from YouTube and kicked off, but hopefully they won't pick that up. And yeah, so I had to replace it with these ones. I think these are 10 turn and these are 5 or something, but it works quite well. Sometimes I can't get the 1.5 volts out of it, and I don't know why, but then I just connect up a D cell. So right, I think at 7:35 I was Yeah, I started half an hour early, or 20 minutes early, and yabbered on for a while because I had clients picking up hi-fi stuff, an amplifier and a really nice turntable, that Luxman PD272 with the Autophon cartridge in it. That is a really nice turntable. And yeah, the amplifier. So yes, but I wasn't expecting this to take an hour to get out of the case. Yeah, so unless somebody comes up with a comment that I do something else, I'm going to end the stream here. I had a bit of a rough night last night because of the weather. Not used to hearing rain on the roof. And was blowing a gale like it is now. So, right, thank you very much for watching. I know this hasn't been all that interesting watching me pull this out of the plastic cabinet, but if you ever get one of these ARP Astor radios from 1953, you'll know. I'm still not certain how you're supposed to get this out cleanly. And there's nothing in there which suggests it would be hard to get out. And it's not attached anywhere. Although there is these things, isn't there? Perhaps I was catching on those. Yeah. I'll really try, and I won't do it now because it'll absolutely pong, but I'll very gently heat this plastic up and try and mould it back into its proper shape. Yeah, it's more this side that's the problem, and these things, this plastic is really quite flexible. Yeah, maybe it was glued up here for some reason. Yeah, it feels like glue there. But that, once that was loosened off, I don't know why it just didn't slip out and then go sort of an angle and come out. So that really had to force that sideways. Oh, it looks like there's glue down here too. But not on this side. Maybe that's to stop the speaker rattling. I don't know, but yeah. So I'll give that a good scrub and we'll see if we can bend this back into some sort of shape. And I'll look out for a good one in an auction. And then I'll fix this chassis up and we'll put the other chassis back in to that case and this one into the nice new unwarped case. Okay, so thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, okay. Crowdeden Z87. Yeah, thank you for tuning in. As I say, it's not the most interesting stream pulling this out of the cabinet, but had to be done. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to all the new subscribers. We seem to be sort of doing steps. So a couple of days without any new subscribers, then we get 4 and then drops down to 1 or 2 and then back up 4 after a couple of days. So I don't know what YouTube is doing, but they seem to implement strange policies. Although they do implement some really, really good things. Like I noticed today that they've just started expanding the moderator rules and things like that. So I don't have anybody who's swearing on this yet, but in the future we may well do, and I'll have to find a moderator or two. I moderate someone else's stream, and that's usually fairly clean. Okay, so yeah, and don't forget I've got a buy me a coffee page and a Patreon. So yeah, okay, good night everyone. The stream ends now.